LEGO sent me the new Speed Champions Lightning McQueen set early, and even if I didn't get it for free early, I would still be praising this. This is probably my favorite release for January 1st, along with the Back to the Future Time Machine we'll be reviewing soon. This retails for $28 in the United States, which is a fantastic price for the most accurate Lightning McQueen that we've gotten to this day. First, I want to give a bit of context for why this is such a big release. Not only is the build lovely, and we'll get to that in a bit, but the design of this is a very interesting mix between the quote-unquote minifigure scale LEGO Cars characters and the Ultimate Build LEGO Cars characters. Now, those came out in 2011 with the Cars 2 wave. The minifigure scale ones came out also in 2011 initially, but carried on to 2012. Then they came back in 2017, where there was a slight variation for the 4+ LEGO Cars 3 sets. This is an interesting scale that I think has brought out the best allocation of capturing the design of this classic Lightning McQueen character. But also with this being a LEGO Speed Champion set, there's an incredible level of detail that's captured through the intricate build that tries to be as accurate as possible to the source material, where this is actually the first LEGO Speed Champion set to have a detailed undercarriage, which LEGO proudly noted in their product description. Much like other Speed Champion sets, this is heavy on stickers. There's not as much prints as I expected, not to say that there aren't prints in this set. For example, this lovely uncommon piece, which I remember was used with the Shelby Cobra set, has a nice printing on it, as well as this 2x4 brick right here with that round design, you could say half of a cylinder. However, you end up putting a sticker for the tail lights on both of those. Of course, this is the same on the opposite side with those two printed pieces, though the one on this side has a slight print detail difference with that silver part at the top there compared to the one on the other side. And also with the tail lights, the one on the other side doesn't have the 95 like the one on the left side does. The design of this is the first Lightning McQueen to not have a printed windscreen. I was a little bit frustrated by that, but seeing how the printed windscreen of the Ultimate Build Lightning McQueen came out where it's misaligned, I guess this is something that's welcome. However, this is just one windscreen piece as opposed to two panels on the Ultimate Build Lightning McQueen. So the design of this probably could have still been carried out pretty easily and not have a misalignment since it's just one piece that needed to be printed. Regardless, we continue the tradition of stickered headlights that the Ultimate Build Lightning McQueen had. The front hood right here has the Rusty's bumper ointment design on a 4x4 tile. Unlike the Ultimate Build Lightning McQueen, we have a brick-built mouth right there, which is an interesting choice that I don't know if it works perfectly. I kind of wish that this part was a little bit smoother because when I look at it sometimes it looks like he has buck teeth, and that's an effect that's unintentionally captured because they use one of those arched 1x4 designs and then a plate piece in the middle. So you have a split between that arch piece and that plate. It's not a huge problem though. The design of the side right here does have stickers for this 1x4 and this 2x4 that has the sloped design to it. There's also a sticker for this 2x2 tile right here. However, this 1x1 right here is a print. And since that's a 1x1 plate, that means you get an extra one in this set, as well as the mudguard having a print. And all that lines up pretty perfectly with those stickered pieces towards the front and those printed pieces at the top. And remember how I said this windscreen is not printed? Well, that's actually partially true, because there is printing at the side of the windscreen for this part of that side window. Now that's also illustrated just with a regular brick in the middle right here, but then you have a double cheese slope on a studs not on top technique for that rear part. And at first I was confused at why they have this specific piece showing with that Technic axle so transparent to see. But that's actually a part of NASCAR's and Lightning McQueen where they have a cooling duct. Yeah, I didn't know that honestly until I did a little bit of research. Another print that I absolutely love with this set are the 4 Lightyear wheels, which is such a lovely design on those tires. You also have a stud that's put on those tires. These come pre-assembled with the wheel right there. Now this has some interesting details that you can already see from the undercarriage with these exhaust pipes right here. And yeah, it's a strange but welcome choice to have the undercarriage detailed, something that's not present in any other Speed Champion set. I don't know why they did it because I don't really ever see the undercarriage of Lightning McQueen in the movies. But hey, that's really awesome on how that's built. I like how they use this, as I call it, well, it wasn't exactly BB-8, but it was like the droid after BB-8 that nobody remembers from episode 9. And the design of that having the candlestick piece in the middle right there attached to a 1x1 modified brick and a 2x2 circular tile. This is just very interesting, and I like, once again, those exhaust pieces which are just kind of clipped on there. I also really like how this rear window is built. It's an interesting studs not on top technique that uses clips to connect to that center part, the design of which uses some interesting mixes of tiles where you have those 1x1 tiles at the front there, then that modified 1x2 with the triangular edge used in 2 different colors, and some tiles in the middle there as well. It's a very intricate design that takes up the appropriate amount of space to fit it just right. And then at the back there, you do have this spoiler, and the spoiler itself is also clipped on so you could get some movement moving it back and forward. Though you can only get so much movement before that part starts to snap off. Thankfully, it's incredibly easy to just plop back in. And yeah, this spoiler right here has a 2x4 that has a sticker that says Rusty's on it. And there's other stickers I didn't point out yet at the back, which are actually that 1x4 piece having a Rusty's design right there, medicated bumper ointment on a 1x4 tile, and then 2 on these 1x2s with a triangular sloped end right there. It's crazy how this is $28 and this is $30. And while this one is a lot bigger, this uses more pieces for the Lightning McQueen build and is so much more accurate in detail, in coloring, and everything there. Keep in mind that Ultimate Build version did have the Guido figure, which I will say, Guido fits with the design of this Lightning McQueen as well. It's one of the few in scale things because, well, if you put, say, Mater from these old Lego Cars sets, it doesn't really fit. And before we completely move on from the build, I just wanted to show this being built from the ground up. And honestly, of recent Lego sets, this is second to a very satisfying, unconventional build experience. Number one, for my favorite, would be the Game Boy. But I really love how this is built up from just a lot of studs on top techniques to the iconic character that we know and love. I also love how there's a little introduction to the character in the instructions. It says, "Focus, speed, I am speed," of course that classic quote. And then we have "Focus, Brooks, I am Brooks." There's not any other thing for this, but I do like that at least. Again, I was sent this for free, but I swear my praise is not because I'm paid off by Lego or anything. You know, I'll be honest when there's a crappy set. This is one of my favorite sets in a while, and a set that has very few, if any, flaws. I usually hate stickers with Lego sets, but honestly for a character whose nickname can be stickers, I think the stickers here align pretty perfectly. And the amount of prints that they use are perfect as well. I had problems with that Ultimate Build set in its particular prints. I don't have any problems in this regard. I still think they should have printed that front windscreen, but maybe there would have been a discrepancy in capturing the colors of those eyes right there, where sometimes when you're printing on white, you'd see a perfect example with the Ultimate Build Lightning McQueen. It gets a little bit less of like a pure white design, and it's more of like almost a shade of white and gray. Regardless, I think the $28 price is absolutely perfect for this. I mean, if you're a price per piece ratio person, it's not perfect because it's 270 pieces, but it's almost perfect for that regard. But I don't really care. I think the value of this is something that would scream $30 nowadays. Like I said, Ultimate Build Lightning McQueen was $30, and I feel like this is a much more accurate and sleeker build to the character. Love the prints with stuff like the Lightyear wheels. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. I think this is one of my favorite sets of recent years. I don't even love the Cars franchise. It is nostalgic, but I do love Lego Cars, and this is the ultimate Lego Cars set. I do hope that one day we do return to the minifigure scale Lego Cars characters, but for a super detailed Speed Champions character, I think this is such an interesting interpretation of that iconic character that feels different from everything that preceded it and feels like the most accurate edition of Lightning McQueen yet. I hope to see Mater in this style maybe next year. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think I'm just praising this because I'm a paid shill because they sent me this for free? Or do you agree that this is a near perfect set? Subscribe here for more honest LEGO takes and new LEGO reviews, because you know that Speed Champions DeLorean is going to be coming out soon for a review on this channel, and I'll see you later. Seriously, you commenting, liking, subscribing helps so much when the algorithm could be a bit rough. Check out my other LEGO Cars reviews where I've done most of the sets. Peace out. Bye.